Hey there, Matt Ziga, EOS Implementer. This is a short video diving into why behind the EOS Level 10 meeting. And so if you think about why you have these meetings, a Level 10 meeting is the opportunity to connect. It's an opportunity to pull yourself out of the day to day, and it's an opportunity to work on the business as a team. And so what I'm about to walk you through is the agenda and the why behind every aspect of the level 10 meeting agenda. And so, when done appropriately, this should be the most important meeting of your week. This is the meeting that's driving everything else. It's the meeting that's helping you keep the circles connected. And so, when you look at the agenda, as a leadership team, you're going to have a 90-minute level 10 meeting. Typically, rule of thumb is you peel off about 30 minutes for every layer you go down in the organization. So a department team may have a 60-minute level 10 meeting. The team below that may be having a 30-minute level 10 meeting. The idea is that you keep the agenda relatively the same, but you shorten down the IDS portion of the meeting. And so this is where you need to customize and tailor the time and the cadence of these meetings so that it's right for you. So ideally, you're having these meetings every single week, but you're tailoring the time so that it is the appropriate amount of time for you and your team to connect, and you still have the appropriate amount of time to solve issues together. So starting there is obviously the first step in dialing in your level 10 meetings. But as you jump into the segue for your level 10 meeting, just know that this is an opportunity for you as a team to connect both on the personal level and on the professional level. And so the idea here is that about 30 seconds to share some personal good news, 30 seconds to share some professional good news. And so the idea is that you have about 5 minutes to share, to connect with your teams. I encourage you to be vulnerable, right? To share some things about yourself so that you can get connected with your teams. The more your team members get to know you, get to understand you, right? The more they're likely to be vulnerable with you and build those deeper relationships that ultimately translate to being a more cohesive team. And so just know that that first 5 minutes, that segue is critical and important to get connected as a team. From there, you do a scorecard review, high level. How are we doing on the numbers? The idea here is not to discuss any of the numbers that are off track, but identify the issues, right? Why is revenue off track? Can we talk about that? Let's make that an issue, right? What about this number? How come this number doesn't look right? Can we drop that down? Can we make that an issue? And so the first portion of the meeting is your reporting only section of the meeting, and you are identifying issues during that part of the meeting. Then you go to your rock review. Rock review, are you on track? Are you off track? Sometimes I encourage teams to give a 1 sentence update as long as we can keep it to the 5 minutes, right? My rock's on track. I did XYZ. We're in good shape. Moving on, right? Give a 10-second update, but no more than that. If your team needs to know information, if your team wants to know more, that's where you need to say, can we drop that rock down? Can we get a deeper update on that? That's where you make that rock an issue so that you can peel back the onion on that rock. But don't do that during your rock section of the meeting. That's your rock review. On track, off track. Maybe a quick update, no more than 10 seconds, and then keep it going. You're extracting issues. Even if your rock's on track, not a bad idea to sometimes drop those on track rocks down to give a deeper update. I'm making progress. I need a little feedback, right? So that the team knows where you're at. Customer employee headlines, great opportunity to get those headlines in before the meeting so that you're prepared. Any updates on your key customers? Any updates on any other employees on your team? Right? These should be could be positive, could be negative. People, customer, employee headline updates for your team. Next, you go to your to-do list. Your to-do list are the to-dos that you had committed to the week prior. This isn't your personal to-do list. You're not giving each other to-dos. You're checking in on the to-dos that you had committed to in your meeting the week prior. And so it should feel like, John, did you get that done? Yep. Sarah, did you get that done? Yep. Sue, did you get that done? Yep. Just going down, checking off your to-dos. Wait until you're in your meeting to check those to-dos off. That's where you're driving accountability amongst the commitments that you're making to each other in your level 10 meetings. From there, we go to IDS. IDS is the bulk of your meeting time. And so when you're IDSing, you look at the list and you're prioritizing. What are the top 3 issues that we want to solve that week? What are the top 3 issues we really need to get into as a team? And so, does anyone else have any other issues to add to that IDS list? Is a great facilitation technique to make sure that you have all the issues on the list. Then you pick your top 3. Then you start with the number 1. Never start at the top, never start at the bottom, whatever your number 1 issue is that you want to solve that week. And you begin to IDS, identifying, discussing, and solving. When you're identifying, you're peeling back the onion, you're asking questions, you're getting curious. What's the root cause of this issue? Once you're clear there, you can move on to discussing it. Open, honest, vulnerable conversation around how you really feel about maybe what we should do to move forward here. Ultimately, we got to get to a solve. When we get to a solve, we're agreeing on a plan of attack. This is what we're going to do. And someone agrees to take action. Joe agrees to, yep, I'm going to document that in our process. Or I'm going to reach out to Sue and figure out what we need to do there. That then turns into a to-do so that you can check in on that next week and drive accountability amongst the decision, the solve that you just made. When issue number 1 is solved, you move to 2, solve 2, you move to 3, solve 3, you pick 3 more. Pick 3 more from your list and dig in until you're out of time. And so in a leadership team meeting, you'll have 60 minutes. In a department meeting, you may only have 30 minutes to IDS. When you run out of time, when there's 5 minutes left in the meeting, you say, listen, we're not going to solve issue number 5 today. We solved 4 great issues. Let's keep that issue on the list. We'll come back to it next week, assuming it's appropriate to sit on that list for another week. And then we need to move to conclude. When you're concluding, you're recapping your to-do list so that everyone knows their marching orders. You review if there's any messages that need to be cascaded to any other teams. And then you rate the meeting. How did we do? 1 to 10. You want to get to the place where the meeting was a 10. No meeting is ever perfect, but if you start on time, you end on time, your rocks are on track, you solved a bunch of great issues. That was a 10. It was a really productive and useful meeting. That was awesome. If it wasn't a 10, give some feedback. If it was an 8, it was a 9. What's going to make it a 10 next week? Give some open, honest feedback. You want to get to the place where it's a 10, knowing that no meeting is perfect. That's the level 10 meeting. If you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out.